race that eats me. Some kind of animal cannibal made impressions on me. Have we met before? Possibly in Michigan, in some strange department store. We won't see him anymore.
A secret society, hidden in plain sight. From world leaders to Hollywood stars, all united by a secret. Comment book, and I'll reveal everything.
I'm from outer space, I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away, I'm illuminated now, make a move, start the waves. I've been breathing on a high for a long time. I had a vision from the perfect one coastline. Artificially delegated way, I'm your future, past and present, I'm the spotlight. Yeah, I'm a illusion, I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sing, I just flow. I don't need gravity, I just need roll. When I move, it's it up with rumble. I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break out, what's that? There we go, come. When I
When Hitler talked about a 1,000-year Reich, and Bush talks about 1,000 points of light, there's more than just a small similarity. They are one and the same. We're talking about a Fourth Reich of the rich, and that's what we're talking about with the New World Order. They want it all. And that fiat funding money that we use isn't money at all. It's debt in the privately owned Federal Reserve.
That's absolutely correct. And since you brought up the Federal Reserve, let's look at the back of our dollar bill. It's also a Masonic symbol, but it's the symbol of the Illuminati, which controls all your money through the Federal Reserve, all the U.S. government money, and through other world banks, all the world's money. And this is basically the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, Satan, the devil. And what this inscription means here is announcing the birth of the satanic New World Order government.
It's an Egyptian pyramid. Why an Egyptian pyramid is on an American dollar bill?
Well, it's a symbol of slavery, Jordan, because that pyramid was put together with slave labor.
Right, but it was also one of the greatest bricklaying projects the world has ever known. And bricklayers are referred to as brick masons. So it is a symbol of the Masonic orders of the world. And it is a very powerful symbol that has been used by the ancient secret societies. And I am here to tell you that that pyramid called Cheops Pyramid is a very important symbol.
If you're seeking the real truth, if you want to understand what you are and where we are, this ebook will have answers. Check the link in the profile bio.
Remember that 59% of the Hollywood producers, directors, and so forth are Jews. My friends, they are overrepresented in Hollywood over 30 times their strength in the overall population. They control Hollywood. This is an article out of the Ottawa Sun newspaper, certainly a reliable source. Ethnic bomb, the death of the future. It says Israel is developing a biological ethnic bomb. Yes, it's a biological weapons bomb, but it has a virus that will kill only the Arab race. Look at the racism. I have a quote here from Rabbi Yaakov Perrin. This is the New York Times. By the way, the editor-in-chief and the people who own the New York Times are in fact Jews. He stated, 1 million Arabs are not worth a Jewish fingernail. It says Ehud Baruch, he just recently, a few years ago, was prime minister of Israel. In one operation called ethnic cleansing, you get that? Ethnic cleansing by the Israelis, picked the lock on the house of writer Kamal Edwan. They slaughtered Mr. Edwan, his wife, and his daughter while they slept in their beds. Other members of the murder squad killed the other two victims. Barak returned from Lebanon to Israel as a hero.
We hear that God's name is Yahweh. Let me tell you something about Yahweh.
I mean, I've spent 42 years looking at this stuff, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm amazed at how many people don't even begin to know what these words mean. In the Hebrew, in the ancient Hebrew, the release of dynamic energy was called Yahweh. And it was always associated with sex. It's the building up of the was referred to the Phoenician Canaanite system as being one with Yahweh. The explosion of have told us the universe came into existence by a big bang. The ancient Phoenician Canaanites said that the women should listen to their god Saturn. They always knew Saturn had rings. So they said the women should listen to their gods. So women were to wear earrings. Men were to get married before their gods, so they were to wear a wedding ring. Kings were to get crowned before their gods, so consequently they would have a round crown, the corona. The ring. Saturn is the god of this world. From that we get the dark side of the Force, Darth Vader. Remember Darth Vader with his Nazi helmet speaking through the Masonic triangle? Somebody better do their homework.
The Matrix and the Forbidden Knowledge volumes. 1 to 5. All 1,200 pages teaching you mind-blowing symbolism and how the system works. Click the link in bio when you are ready. On sale now for just $19.99.
Who translated the King James Authorized Version? Rosicrucians and Freemasons. Yeah, and once you understand, wait a minute, the Bible is a Masonic book. Of course it's a Masonic book. How many people know that the symbols in Islam are taken directly out of the Old Testament Bible? And that Mecca is the black cube of Freemasonry. Mecca is a black square. Look it up. The planet Saturn. Saturn was referred to as the black cube. And the more they pray, the more blood is spilled. The more violence and bloodshed builds each day. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And the more they pray, the worse it gets. And Christians all over the world are praying to God's Son, the light of the world, and they have no idea what they're praying to. They have no concept of the world, of what they're praying to, and consequently, all of the evil is winning. Good people are losing. Knights Templars, Masonic, Freemasons are winning. They're controlling the world. Why? Because we're worshiping the wrong God. Because we don't understand what the symbols mean. Because we walk right past the truth sitting right in front of us and end up worshiping something that the Knights Templars have given us to worship. And therefore, we haven't got the faintest idea in the world what's going on.
All gods are in the world are triune gods. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Osiris, Isis, Horus, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No, it's all a story. It's based on three. And then you have the three major religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Why three? Why couldn't it be seven? No, and then you'll find out, no, you're playing with numbers now. There's something going on here, and it's encoded. Nobody reads anything, nobody cares. You just do what you do because they were born into it. So if you're Catholic, you just go to Catholic church, and you never realize that as a Catholic, you're worshiping a god named Dagon. D-A-G-O-N is the god of Catholicism. Nobody knows anything about Dagon, and nobody cares. Why? Because it's just a church. So we go to church and we feel good, and we have all our friends there. And I said, yeah, but you're worshiping Dagon, goofball. Do you know that? Do you know who Dagon was? Who?
Do you know what Dagon is? Because it's right there in front of you if you just look at the church.
The Ultimate Guide on Astrotheology. Understand how the zodiac has inspired religion and spiritual moments since the dawn of time. On sale for only $9.99.
Religious thinking, concepts and ideas of theology and religion is the basis for violence and revolutions throughout the world. Saturn was a very important symbol to the communists, to the Christian church, especially in Judaism and in Islam. He is the god of the black robe. This is why we have judges who wear black robes and priests who wear black robes, and young people when they graduate wear black robes. Mardi Gras, a Christian celebration, is a celebration of the destruction of an old order of the world in preparation for a coming new world order. And if you go to Rio and places like that where this Mardi Gras is held, Carnival, coming from carnivorous, the eating of flesh, you will find that the king of Carnival is called King Saturn. King Saturn is the god of all chaos and destruction. That's exactly what the Nazis believed, is that you do something to cause great, terrible chaos and destruction, and it will frighten the people into giving the king more power to create a new world order. The Nazis burned down the Reichstag building in Berlin to frighten all Germans and all of Europe. This is the kind of thing we're seeing today. Religious and political conspiracies to cause this kind of tragedy for the American people.
If you're seeking the real truth, if you want to understand what you are and where we are, this ebook will have answers. Check the link in the profile bio.
When you see the rabbis giving the rabbinical blessing, just remember it's connected to the goat god. The Star of David is actually a hexagram, which was the original astronomical symbol for the planet Saturn. Saturn was always pictured in the ancient astronomical text during the Middle Ages and the medieval times as a Star of David, six-pointed star, two triangles interposed. The Babylonians would draw a triangle on the ground and then draw an opposing triangle, making the six-pointed star or hexagram, then draw a circle around that hexagram and stand inside of it. Now you're inside the magic circle, putting the hex on someone. So that's where we get the word putting the hex on you, is because the six-pointed star is a hex. So today we have Jews going around the world proud to show you that they've got the hex put on them. In the Phoenician language, Saturn is spelled Shabbath. Shabbath in the Phoenician language is Saturn. And from Shabbath we get Sabbath. So therefore the Hebrew Sabbath is the worship of the goat god connected to the planet Saturn. That's why the Hebrews have their holy days or Sabbath on sundown Friday night to sundown Saturday night, because that's Saturn, or Saturn's day, or Saturday.
The Matrix and the Forbidden Knowledge volumes. 1 to 5, all 1,200 pages teaching you mind-blowing symbolism and how the system works. Click the link in bio when you are ready. On sale now for just $19.99.
The Statue of Liberty, it's holding the torch of illumination, which is the Promethean torch of Freemasonry. And if you go to the Statue of Liberty, you'll see a bronze plaque inside saying that this was given to the government of America by the French Grand Orient Temple Masons. And it is a symbol of Grand Orient Freemasonry in America, the holder of the light. And that's exactly the same torch that is carried during the Olympics. On the back of the old dime in America, there was the fasci, which you look in the encyclopedia or dictionary and look at the word fascism, you'll see that the symbol for world fascism was a bundle of sticks with a hatchet head.
You see that on each side of the speaker's podium at Congress.
Oh, absolutely.
So they have the fasci on each side.
Absolutely, and it's also the symbol for the United States Senate is the fasci. But the point I want to make is that that was on the old dime. Now on the new dimes, you will see a torch instead of the old fasci, because fascism was used at one time to prepare the world for the New World Order. Now the New World Order is in place. That's why on the dollar bill it says Novus Ordo Seclorum is New Order of the World, but at the top of the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill is Annuit Coeptus, which in Latin means our enterprise or our project has been crowned with success.
Our country was run by Jews who I believe were more loyal to Israel than they were the United States. Here under Bill Clinton is his Secretary of Agriculture, Dan Glickman. He is a 33rd degree Mason and he's Jewish. We go to another man, Al Gore. There's no doubt that Al Gore is run by the Jewish Illuminati. Did you know that in the year 2002, Bill Clinton gave a speech before 300 of the richest Jews in the world in Europe, and you know what he told them? He said, if there is a war between Iraq and the Muslims and Israel, I personally, he said, will go to Israel and I will fight and die. I will give my life for the country of Israel. Look at these two culprits. They ran for president, Robert Dole did, and his vice presidential running mate, Jack Kemp, during the campaign against Bill Clinton for office. They were the Republican candidates. But guess what? Robert Dole went to all the Jewish organizations and declared his loyalty for them, and so did Jack Kemp. Well, they still didn't get elected because the Jews gave all of their multi-million dollars to Bill Clinton. He was even better than these guys were. Both of these men were 33rd degree Masons. And remember what we said about the Jewish control of Freemasonry. 2 33-degree Masons running in the Republican ticket.
They're saying that the people who lead this country meet in private because they don't live by the same morals and ethics you do. They have a whole different standard of behavior than you do.
Let's go.
For the last 2 weeks of July, from July 15th to the end of July, they meet for 2 weeks every year.
For 2 solid continuous weeks?
For 2 solid weeks. They meet in conclave, and some of the most important movie stars, national leaders from around the world, and they say it's the only place that enemies, so-called enemies on both sides of a war, can meet quietly behind the scenes and be friends.
So they go out for this 2-week period of bonding and socializing.
Socializing and chit-chatting and getting together to decide what war they're going to have next time and who's going to be the enemy and who will be the good guy. And so the Jesuits are truly Illuminati themselves.
And the Vatican, and you go
well, that
into
was what I was going to say, yes. I believe that one of the most evil organizations that exist on the earth today, and you'd have to have spent all the years with me in libraries and research societies and traveling around the world and talking to other writers, authors, lecturers, and teachers, and collecting this stuff over a period of 45 to 48 years to understand what I'm telling you. But I believe today the most serious evil organization on the face of the earth is the Vatican. That's my personal opinion. I think if the Vatican was done away with off the face of the earth, there would be a shout of liberation heard around the world. Because the Vatican, in my opinion, is the bulwark of this dark thing that's happening on the earth. So when you talk about Illuminati, when you talk about the really dark criminal stuff that's going on in the earth, you're talking the Vatican.
Harry Truman went to the United Nations and asked that Israel be made an independent nation after World War II because he was given $2 million in bribe money in a suitcase. It was brought to him by wealthy Jewish financiers on his campaign train. Of course, Harry Truman was a 33rd degree Mason. Now, what other presidents have been controlled? I believe most of the American presidents have been controlled by Jewish influences, especially in recent years. This is some material somebody sent me. This is actually the page out of the West Point yearbook. Senior Dwight David Eisenhower, gentlemen, the terrible Swedish Jew. They call him a Jew. Maybe Americans didn't know they had a Jewish president. According to Nixon, most Jews, their first loyalty, those in high up levels of government, is to Israel, not the United States. Hillary Clinton, during the final year of the Clinton administration, she actually admitted that she was Jewish. She said, my grandmother was Jewish. She actually spoke Yiddish. Here, by the way, is a picture of Tom DeLay, and he gave a speech which he flat out just said, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible, so we've got to give all of our support to Israel. And basically, Tom DeLay said, to hell with the Palestinians.
Look what's happened in the last 23 years. A disgrace. I personally investigated the Oklahoma City bombing case. Huge cover-up. Jack Kennedy's assassination, huge cover-up. Bobby Kennedy's assassination, huge cover-up. World Trade Center, huge cover-up. Okay. Terrorism. They're using it as an excuse to take away our constitutional rights and our civil liberties. The Bilderbergs. The Illuminati, Bilderberg, New World Order, globalists are the element behind this. It dovetails into the satanic movement, and this movement has infiltrated into our intelligence community, the once great FBI and the CIA.
13 is an unlucky number, we're told.
That's a satanic number.
Well, but it's called an unlucky number because originally it dealt with Jesus and his 12. Jesus and the 12 make the 13, upon which a new order of life would be established on earth. The conspirators have then seized upon this term of the 13, Jesus plus the 12, and have begun to build on that a new world order. You had better look at the idea of why an Egyptian pyramid is on an American dollar bill.
Well, it's a symbol of slavery, Jordan, because that pyramid was put together with slave labor.
Right, but it was also one of the greatest bricklaying projects the world has ever known. And bricklayers are referred to as brick masons, so it is a symbol of the Masonic orders of the world.
That makes sense.
And it is a very powerful symbol that has been used by the ancient secret societies. And I am here to tell you that that pyramid called Cheops Pyramid is a very important symbol to the world Illuminati.
And they're constructing the Illuminati Luxor up in Las Vegas.
No, I understand.
On Las Vegas Boulevard. I was up there with our cameraman here. And
is that a new hotel?
A new hotel, 33 stories. I mean, with the capstone.
What's the significance of 33, Anthony?
Well, I think Jordan would be better able to answer that.
Angelina Jolie. She's talking about signing her life with Blood Here Listen.
Signed our life away to each other and, legally and with blood, that there's no possible way any...
Lady Gaga.
He's weird and, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna,
Usher.
Passionate, and I'm very honored to be able to receive this amazing award from the depths of my soul.
Drake.
I can put in the maximum amount of effort. I can use all my heart and my soul, in my writing. But at the end of the day, I am being guided by some other power. I don't know what it is, but somebody likes me somewhere, and that's just the facts, like.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. This it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
What was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
Well, needless to say, sold my soul.
Sometimes they don't want to, and they're saying, Gaga, we can't get, the frequency's weird, and, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, I get a little bit mad.
Why is your hand over your eyes?
Because I'm a devil worshiper, what are you talking about? All right, well, I have tickets to see the devil worshiper.
The whole idea of celebrity and fame has become really convoluted and, kind of bastardized, whereas fame used to be the byproduct of success, and now it's the ultimate goal, and if your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like you're gonna end up on a one-way street and it's going nowhere. Like that's just the truth. I've seen so many people forsake their moral code and their value systems just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
Have you heard the theory that President Lincoln was assassinated by the Rothschilds?
Oh, yeah.
The Rothschilds, they were basically sold the Confederate banknotes in Europe, so they're supporting the Confederates.
No way.
And because Abraham Lincoln wanted to get rid of the European banking system and make it the U.S. banking system.
The craziest thing about the Civil War that nobody ever talks about was Russia's role in the Civil War. And what happened was that the Russians had just kicked the Rothschilds out, the banking cabal out, and they had heard that, basically basically they were trying to do the same thing in America. And Alexander, I think it was, actually sent Russian Navy to our borders. And you can actually see pictures of Russian troops with northern troops as well. So, and that's a big reason, because Spain and France and Britain were about to come in on the side of the South.
I mean, this is adding up to the Rothschild banking system.
And some history that will never be told to you.
Don't learn that in elementary school.
Not a chance. That's why.
Yeah, I mean,
all history is a lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's written by the winners, right?
It's written by the winners, and it's there to basically form a group agreement that these people are the good guys and these people are the bad guys, and that's just how it's been done. And when everyone goes, dude, is everything a conspiracy? 100%.
Israel controls us. They control the Congress. They control the Senate. They control our money. We don't control our country. The Zionist state does. We've seceded our power to a foreign country. We don't need presidents to send our young men and women into war, all for the sake of the Zionist state. I'm tired of it. This whole country should be tired of it. Our passionate attachment to the Zionist state has got to stop.
Something really disturbing is happening right now in Hollywood. This is Ariana Grande in 2018, and this is Ariana Grande in 2024. This is Shania Twain. This video is from last year, 2023, and just 1 year later we have this footage. And Lindsay, famous for starring in The Parent Trap and Mean Girls, used to look like this, but now it seems like she's been replaced by someone else. These days, she looks just like a young, perfect doll. But probably the most bizarre video is this one of Madonna. This video was made so we can see Madonna aging. You can observe this normal aging, even with all the cosmetic procedures she's had. The problem is that as the years go by, something strange happens. Pay attention. Watch as it gets closer to 2024. Today, Madonna looks younger than she did when she was actually young. It's scary to think that this change only happened in 2024. It's something new, created by the industry.
Ever heard of the Black Eye Club? They control everything and what's really behind it. You won't believe it. Comment, book, and uncover the secret.
The reason they tell us the truth in movies and TV shows is because it's tell-a-vision. They're telling you their vision, their agenda. It's called television programming for a reason. They are programming you with their vision because while you're entertained, your subconscious mind is being entertrained to fear, to conform, to forget your own power. If you don't program your own mind, someone else will. Your subconscious is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant grows. So plant your own vision, not theirs. Comment vision, and we will show you how.
They've been lying to you. These celebrities were old historical figures, and for centuries they've been hiding it from you. Back in the 90s, a man named Donald Marshall started getting attention online after claiming he'd witnessed real human cloning programs connected to elite circles. He described what he called replication centers, secret facilities where clones were created from scratch. These centers, he claimed, operated like advanced farms, growing clones in specialized environments, almost like organic plants, before they were activated and brought to life for use by those in power. But he wasn't the only one making these claims. Phil Schneider, a government contractor who mysteriously died in the mid-90s, claimed the military was using advanced biotechnology to create humanoid replicas. His story was dismissed as just another wild theory, and then he ended up dead, just like his claims. These clones aren't born, they're grown. They may look human, but they're said to lack something essential: a soul, a spirit, and independent thought, controlled by some powerful people. Why is it always celebrities? Why not random people on the street?
Eat babies, that is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood. They do, Tucker. Stop staring at me like that.
You're freaking me out, man. Because you spent your life in the entertainment business, so I think you have some authority on this.
So many kids that I was in mental institutions with over the years, they are all from those cults. And they've covered it all up. They covered it all up. And, you know, I just pray to God. I'm just going to pray to God that He opens everybody's eyes in this country. No.
Yes, terrible tragedies happen. And if, God forbid, there's a terrible tragedy, I can't think of better on-the-job training than what I've gotten over the last 200 days.
President in 2028.